Hey there, this is my first journal entry of Integrated English Language 7, and we need to go straight to the point because it's quite long. So the first question says, to what extent your understanding of alternative pedagogies echoes the generalized concept that the teacher's basic task is the transmission of knowledge? Explain and provide evidence. So what I understood is that I need to relate how these alternative pedagogies also talk or deal with the idea of transmission of knowledge. I would like to start with Montessori method, and in my point of view, this is a more radical method because what Montessori proposed is that actually the teachers do not have to transmit anything. They only need to present the element objectively, the element under study objectively, because the children need to relate to this element freely and spontaneously. So the role of the teacher is just to create environments, social environments for the kids to explore and move freely and relate freely with the social environment that the teacher creates. On the other hand, we have Waldorf education and we have Gurdjieff proposals. Both have the idea that teachers are people who have to give an example, who have to show students or people the correct way of living by their behavior. On the one hand, we have Waldorf that they say that when teachers demonstrate a high and strong respect and reverence towards what the divine word has sent down to earth, that is to human being, the kids will learn how to do it. That is to say, teachers need to have a great knowledge of their own inner theaters and the theaters of the kids in order for them to have a behavior that shows respect for their characteristics, mainly love, soul, feelings, thoughts, and willingness. In that way, teachers will be transmitting a knowledge or a path for students to follow. That is to say, they're an example of the right living human being. They need to show respect from the inner theaters of the human beings. On the other hand, we have Gurdjieff's ideas that says that teachers or any person actually should seek for objective consciousness. By doing so, teachers in this case will have to change their lifestyles, and they have to move to two main areas. That is the conscious labor. That is to say, we need to start reflecting and meditating about what kind of, for example, functioning centers are acting in every moment of our life, or we need to constantly struggle with the desires that came from the negative aspects of the human being, for example, pride or vanity. And on the other hand, we need to try to change our life towards intentional suffering. That is to say that we need to put ourselves in uncomfortable situations in order to help people. I would like to read a quote that says, intentional suffering might include enduring somebody's wrong behavior, helping others when it causes us substantial hardship, sacrificing our time and effort and any good deeds we do for others without any expectation of gratitude or even a feeling of self-satisfaction. Just be a human being to help another human being. Although that process of helping the other human being could be harmful, we need to do it anyways. So by doing so, you will reach this objective reason or this objective consciousness actually, and you will see life differently. And by doing so, you will show students that there are different ways to live your life, and you are actually implicitly doing an invitation. You are inviting them to live differently and to follow the same path that you followed before. So also you are giving an example of life. Now moving on to the second question that is deeply related to what I have already said. The question says, Would applying alternative pedagogies in the classroom involve changing the overall educational system? Evidence your response. My answer is yes, it will change the overall educational system, but we need to think of this process as something holistic. The three alternative pedagogies that I have already mentioned um, share a anthropological assumption, and that is that human beings are holistic beings. That is to say, there are complex beings that are built from different areas. So, if we apply method in the classroom, in the micro level, this method will have consequences in these human beings, in the students. And the main consequences is that these human beings will be able to work or to exert influence in more areas of life or societies. That is to say, they will have more action spaces. So, if we apply this in the classroom or in the micro level only, and the system itself does not change, we will be cutting or we will be cutting or denying the opportunity for a student to actually develop, because we will not give them developmental spaces, as like the system will not give them developmental spaces in terms of infrastructure or the curriculum, for example. So it has to be an overall change, but a holistic change. We need to sit we need to start discussing. Sorry, we need to start discussing these issues, but holistically. That is to say, we need to be focused on many areas that exert influence in the students, and how that areas or that influences will have consequences, and how we will promote those consequences by offering different areas or different opportunities to the students. So it's more realistically, teachers might be included, parents must be included, students must be included, the community must be included, headmasters, and all the people who participate in the educational process. So yes, that's my point of view. I know that I spoke really fast, but it's because I don't want to have like a long video, but I tried to present my ideas as clear as possible. The same ideas are presented in the written part, um, and it was quite difficult for me to explain in the written part the idea of this holistic change, because of course I don't know, it's a huge topic of discussion, but I did my best. And to finish my video, I want to thank you for this opportunity. It is great to have another vision of what education means or is, and I am pretty sure that I'm going to use this in my final thesis. So I hope you appreciate also that work. So thank you very much. Yeah, that's it. Goodbye.